I have officially lost my mind. I rented a 2025 Tacoma TRD Off-Road just to prove one thing. Can Toyota's turbo-only setup really compete with my Trailhunter back home? 2 trucks, 2 powertrains, 800 miles, one honest answer. No dealer hop, no paid review, just me, 2 Tacomas, and a real-world test from East Tennessee to Kansas City. Before hitting the road, let's get one thing straight. These 2 trucks may look similar, but they couldn't be more different. On paper, the TRD Off-Road runs a 2.4-liter turbo with 278 horses and 317 pound torque. The Trailhunter Hybrid, 326 horses and 465 pound torque, and you feel every bit of it. Alright guys, big news. The Smoky Mountain Taco website is finally live, and it's built for you, the Tacoma community. You can now browse every video I've done all in one place, organized, clean, and easy to find. And the best part? On the right side of every video, you'll see links to the exact products I use. So if you see something you like in a build, finding it just became way easier. I've also added a sponsor section. This is where you'll find all the brands that have supported the channel. You can click straight into every video I've done with that sponsor, and right below it I've got buttons that take you straight to the websites. And don't forget, there are exclusive discount codes waiting for you there. Save some money, support the channel, win-win. The TRD rides on Bilstein shocks. Light, comfortable, tuned for daily driving, but you can feel it. The Trailhunter comes with Old Man Emu suspension, heavier, ready for the trails, and when you hit a pothole, you can feel the difference between Old Man Emu and Bilsteins. I noticed this immediately coming from Enterprise where I rented it. Inside, Toyota made subtle changes. The TRDs feel lighter, not as polished. But the Trailhunter, thicker panels, the tailgate's heavier. I think that's pretty obvious. But heavier doors and a heavier hood, that surprised me. So before even turning the key, you can tell these 2 were designed with completely different goals in mind. Now, there are scratches on this rental, this TRD Off-Road, and you can see the difference. See, look at that. This thing has been scratched up, and I even noticed a dent over here. Can't really see that in the shade very well, but the paint on this is not the best. Look at all this. If I was getting a TRD Off-Road, the first thing that would go would be this. I would get an off-road exhaust, just like the Trailhunter has. That's the Trailhunter. This is a stock TRD Off-Road. You can obviously see the bumper here, plastic RB bumper on the back. I've upgraded with rigid lights. I got tow hooks on this. Of course, the obvious difference, 18-inch wheels. These are 17s, it looks like. And these are stock tires on the Trailhunter. 265/70 R18s. These are 265/70 R17s. So yeah, the first thing I really noticed was the power and the suspension. So this is a 4-cylinder turbo. It's not a hybrid. This is relays and fuse over here, and washer fluid over here, brake fluid over here. You can see the difference. You've got this intake over here. It's a little different than the higher intake. And you got the battery sitting up here. Trailhunter, it's a little different. It's got the relay and fuse over here, washer fluid up here. You got the antifreeze right here, same as the TRD Off-Road. But over here, you got the hybrid functionality over here. This is for the higher intake over here. And over here's the hybrid coolant. So this does come with adjustable headlights, got traction control, it's got the automatic high beams, and this looks like you can turn on the bed lights, but it does not have bed scene lighting. And of course, no power tailgate, manual gas opener here. The floor mats on these are terrible. Sorry, these are just terrible compared to the Trailhunters, and the Trailhunter isn't as good as last fit. So here on the Trailhunter, you've got a trailer brake control right here. You can see it in the Trailhunter. I've got multi-zone environmental system here in the Trailhunter, cooled seats, heated seats. You got trailer camera, locking rear diff, stabilizer disconnect, four-wheel drive, parking and hold. Here on the Trailhunter, I've got the gas can opener, and on the Trailhunters, if you didn't know, it doesn't dangle. TRD Off-Road, oh, TRD Off-Road doesn't dangle either, but it is a manual opener. So here in the TRD Off-Road, you only have the locking rear diff, and it does have a parking and the hold button. If you weren't aware of it, if you're going through a drive-through or heavy traffic, you can push that button. As long as you got your foot on the brake, push the button, then you can take your foot off the brake and it'll automatically brake it for you until you hit the gas. So this doesn't have a dual air conditioning system here. Heated or cooled seats up front. This is an 8-inch screen. It does have the red TRD start button. I like that. I don't care for this trim in here, but it is white. Whatever, man. You've got, this does not have a powered mirror up here. So this is just a plain Jane mirror. That's potential for an upgrade. And you can see the difference over here compared to the Trailhunter. And it looks like there's no pre-wired aux switches here. It does have fog lights. It doesn't have the rigids. And we'll see how it acts on the highway, because my Trailhunter will essentially drive itself for 30 seconds at a time. But the seats are very different. It has sort of powered seats, but not as deep as the Trailhunter. Let's go check out my Trailhunter. Over here on my Trailhunter, you can see I've got my aux switches here. This controls my rock lights, rear rigids. This controls my aux beam pods up here with ditch light side shooters. Automatic tailgate opener here. Traction control, the inverter. Back down here is a light bar, fog light. This controls my bed scene lighting. Of course, this right here is an upgrade if you didn't know. This is the handiest thing to hold my keys. This controls trailer braking, 14-inch screen. You can see the difference in the floor mats. These are last fit, cover everything. Of course, my Desert Does It setup down here with a front multi-mount panel, seat jackers, and my clockable extension over here. Down here you can see my floor mats, trailer braking control, park, hold, DAC control, crawl control, multi-terrain select, drive mode, tow haul. This is the trailer control, cameras, locking rear diff, stabilizer disconnect. Hazards, heated, cooled front seats. I can control the environmental settings from this side if this button is clicked for sync. And this is a heated steering wheel button. This is about the same on the TRD Off-Road, it looks like. But there's the JBL speaker that you can detach. This thing sounds awesome, by the way. I was actually working on my 3rd gen with this out listening to a podcast, and it sounds awesome. Tailgate, manual control. Looks like it's got a rear camera. This is a 5-foot bed, nothing special back here. No DC output, no USB output over here, no inverter. Basic bed, but it has bed rails and bed cleats. And this has been used for sure. This Trailhunter, it will automatically lower itself. You see I got the LasFit tailgate protector and the LasFit bed liner and a rag back here for some reason. And the Trailhunter air compressor, DC output, USB-C right here, 2400 watt inverter, and that is the OEM Molly panels I installed. Got an axe and a shovel and a Rotopax gas can up there. That's 4 gallons. And then up here I've got billy bars. I got my MaxTrax traction boards, high lift jack mounted over here on the side, and I do have it locked up. Up here, aux beam lights. You can see my rock lights, light bar, front rigids. These are just the standard OEM fog lights on a TRD Off-Road, but they are both underground. These iForce Max, high air intake. I did put some carbon fiber mirror covers on just to protect it for going off-road. Of course, the chase rack. These are the Billy Bar Molly panels. And even with those on, the bed scene lighting right here works extremely well at night. All right, let's check out this TRD Off-Road some more. The biggest difference, like I said, when I brought it home, was a suspension. Those are the Bilstein shocks. You can see plain Jane upper control arms, Trailhunter upper control arms, and Old Man Emu shocks. Front tow hooks, skid plates, pretty much going out throughout the whole thing, except for a little bit in the back. but I do have a, on the Trailhunter, a skid plate over the locking rear diff. There is a skid plate over the rear diff, and even the front diff. So this, you can see it got arc mud flaps right here, and this thing has saved my rear end off-road. I want you to look at the scratches on that skid plate here. That mounts to my hitch. I've hit some rocks. Taking this thing off-road, let's check out the rear. These floor mats are not that great. So, and back here, you do have DC output back here. And so you could potentially upgrade an off-road with some of the features of Trailhunter. Let's check it out back here. So Trailhunter, I've got AC 120, 2400 watts, and then USB-C chargers back here in the back. And then I've got the last fit floor mat back here, which you can see is much better. And that's a simple upgrade. And then the seats, much better seats in the Trailhunter compared to the TRD Offroad. Much better. But same thing on the Trailhunter, you only get a pocket over here on the passenger side, but not on the driver's side. That's why I bought this. I got a little bit of everything in here. Molly panel bays, and it helps out with storage. Now, speaking of storage, the TRD storage, you actually have storage underneath the seat. And you've got some over here, but not on the Trailhunter. You've got more storage in the TRD Offroad than you do the Trailhunter. And it's because the battery is in the rear. So let's check out what's behind this back seat. And so you got more storage back here, but you have to actually remove clips here in order to get these to pop up, and the battery's under here, and some hybrid components over here. Behind the seat, you got a speaker and a little bit of storage behind that seat and over here. That's it. That's the bad thing about the TRD Pro and the Trailhunter. Not a lot of storage. For the Trailhunter, by default, when you get it, it comes with an air compressor hose over here with a bag over here, but you can always use it for something else. That's why I got my Roan case up here. But I am thinking about getting a roof rack and probably the full ARB rack in the back. But Trailhunter does come with this first aid kit. Got it velcroed in over here. You can take it off, mount it back on. My Thor's Lightning tire repair kit right here. Then another pouch I got off Amazon. Very handy, these Molly panels, and it's in the TRD Offroad as well. Of course, you got the Trailhunter badging. Look at this scratch on this rental. See how easily it scratches up. Now let's look at the flares. You can see the Trailhunter's got bigger hips, and this is a 6-foot bed. This is a 5-footer. Now the center console, my Trailhunter didn't actually come like this. It was actually got a little mat sitting down inside, but I put a safe in there from Moosology, and this does not have a charging area over here, and this has the USB-C and DC output right here, and it's still got the trash holder hook right here. You can see the Trailhunter trim. It's much nicer, no doubt about it. And the thing is, you can see here I've got the QI charging port for the phone over here for wireless charging, the DC output right here, and then the USB-C right here. And then over here on the side, USB-C, and that gives you wired Android Auto and wired Apple CarPlay. And it's the same thing over here. Now, I just loaded the TRD Offroad up with luggage, ice chest, that sort of stuff. But I noticed something. This tailgate is much lighter than the Trailhunter tailgate. The other thing that's lighter are the doors. The Trailhunter feels a whole lot heavier compared to the TRD Offroad. They just feel lighter. That feels heavier. And the hood? The TRD Offroad hood is much lighter than the Trailhunter hood. And I don't know why. If you do know why, please put a comment down below and let us all know. I think I got an idea for the tailgate because it's powered. But the doors and the hood, that just doesn't make sense to me. With both trucks lined up, it's time to hit the road. 800 miles ahead through mountains, interstates, and traffic. And let's see what kind of gas mileage we get. The first thing I notice, power delivery. The Trailhunter Hybrid hits instantly. almost like a V8. The TRD's turbo builds power smooth and quick, but there's a difference. This is not the hybrid on the Trailhunter, and that's obvious right off the bat. It's not just the numbers, it's how they deliver them. The hybrid torque is addictive. Ride comfort, totally different worlds. The TRD Offroad's Bilsteins, they felt sluggish, they felt rough. But the Trailhunter's Old Man Emu setup, you can hit potholes and it just shrugs. Whatever, man. Now I've got seat jackers installed on my Trailhunter. This TRD Offroad did not have them. And I felt the difference there too. Well, we made it to St. Louis. Check this out. Now this is something you couldn't do in a Trailhunter. The Trailhunter's lift, combined with a 6-foot bed, you just can't navigate a garage like this. The TRD Offroad with the Bilstein stock lift, you'll be fine. But put a lift on it, or the Trailhunter, it's not happening. Well, we made it to Kansas City overnight. Average miles per gallon was about 20.9, and I actually learned a few things on the road. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the automated driving exists on the TRD Offroad as well, just like it is on the Trailhunter. But you can change settings over to lane tracing, and it can actually help you navigate going down the highway. Here's an example of a car passing me and getting in front of me, and the truck's computer handled it beautifully. I've gotten less miles per gallon in my Trailhunter than the TRD Offroad on the highway. But all you Trailhunter owners out there, let me know what your experience has been. I'm very curious. Here's what I've learned after living with both. The TRD Offroad, rough suspension, not as heavy built, can easily navigate parking garages. Maybe an easier daily drive. The Trailhunter, heavier, tougher, more torque, more power, and more trail ready. If you're looking for a daily commuter that still feels capable, TRD Offroad, TRD Sport all the way. If you're building an overland or off-road rig, Trailhunter wins hands down. 2 Tacomas, 2 personalities, and honestly, Toyota nailed both. If you like that video, be sure to hit the subscribe, like, share, and comment down below. We'll see you next time. Smoky Mountain Taco, out.